This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 38 in this series that is all about jazz guitar. As you know, I love jazz guitar and I'm so delighted to bring this course to you. Right now in the series, we're working on the most the common voicings that we use when we're playing jazz, the most common ones. And in this specific lesson, we're going to take the voicings that I introduced in the last lesson and we're going to work them in 2-5-1 configurations. So the chords that we're working on right now tend to happen in minor keys in the 2-5-1s. And as you know, if you've been going through this series, it's really important to work these chords in 2-5-1s because we run into 2-5-1 progressions all the time in the tunes that we play, or the songs that we play, the different music that we play. So we're going to work that. We've got two different options using those chords that we learned in the last lesson. Our 2 chord in a minor key is half diminished or minor 7 flat 5. And we've got each option, one with the root on the 6th string, one with that root on the 5th string. Our dominant chords have some sort of alteration, sharp 9 or flat 9, sharp 5 or a flat 5. And we could have a combination of altered 9th and altered 5th, and there's 4 of them. We also could have the sharp 11, but for our sake, that's the same as the flat 5. It's the same pitch, and it's the same voicing. Flat 13, sharp 5, also the same. So for our one with the root on the 5th string, we're using a sharp 9 voicing. For our one with the root on the 6th string, we're using a sharp 5 or flat 13. We're working on one voicing and getting it down now. If you're playing music and you run into something different, you can basically interchange any of the altered chords for the most part. There's times where maybe we're playing in a big band and the horns are playing something very specific and we kind of want to match it, and maybe just choosing an alternate voicing doesn't always work as well. Or we're working with a pianist or something and we need to match kind of the harmony that we're doing. But for the most part, we can just use one altered dominant and interchange it for another altered dominant. So these are the ones that we're working on now because these are really great ones to know. And then for our one chord in minor keys, it can be a minor 6th chord, it can be a minor 7th, meaning minor 7th, and it can be a minor major 7th. We're already familiar with the minor 7th chord. It's really great to get the minor major 7th sound down, so we've been working on that one in these lessons. So we got minor major 7th options there. Let's look at this one on top first, and I'll just work it here as if we were in B flat minor as our tonic. So we're going to start with a C half diminished, or C minor 7 flat 5. So I'm going to put this root on the 8th fret of the 6th string. And then we're going to go to that altered dominant, and we can see it there, that sharp 9 dominant chord that we worked on in the last lesson. And then we're going to come around to that B flat minor major 7th. Right now we're just using that root 7 flat 3 5. You could throw a 9th or something else on there, but we're just sticking to that with the minor major 7th. So you want to take and get really comfortable with that shape. And then once you are, we want to put it into a progression that's going to go through more keys. If you've been doing these lessons, you know that we can take a 2-5-1 and then take that one chord and make it our new 2 chord as we continue 2-5-1 and just move down by step. So in this case, I start with that. I could start with the D half diminished or D minor 7 flat 5, and this would be at the 10th fret, that root at the 10th fret of the 6th string. And then I go to the G7 alt and then the C minor major 7. Then I would make that C half diminished to the F7 alt to B flat minor major 7, and then I make that B flat half diminished E flat 7 alt to A flat minor major 7. And I could continue on, so on and so forth. Let's do that a little bit together. We're going to just use that basic do-dot comping rhythm. You can strum it or pluck it. I'm going to pluck it with my fingers here. And then we'll just go right through just like that. We're going to have the one chord last for 2 measures. The other ones will each last for 1. So you got 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and the D half diminished to the G7 alt to the C minor major 7. And then we got the C half diminished to the F7 alt, B flat minor major 7. And then we got that B half diminished, B flat, I should say E flat alt, and A flat minor major 7. then A flat half diminished to the D flat 7 alt, G flat minor major 7. We're out of space. We actually need to switch to the other string set. So let's just pause for a second and come over and work on these. Now the next place that we would be with the G flat half diminished. So if I put my index finger on the G flat at the 9th fret on the 5th string, I can have this shape here, my minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished. And then I go down 2 frets, and in this case we're using that sharp 5 or flat 13 voicing that we worked on, and then I've got my minor major 7 there, as I have indicated over on the side. So you just want to get used to going through those shapes, just like that. Once you've got that down, we can take that through the keys the same way. So once I've played that one there on E minor major 7, I would make that become my E half diminished, A7, and then continue on down back to C, which is where we started. So let's do that in time. So you got 1, I 2, I 1, 2, ready, and the G flat half diminished to B7 alt to E minor major 7. Then you got that E half diminished to the A7 alt to the D minor major 7. Then you got the D half diminished to the G7 alt to the C minor major 7. And we've gone through all 6 keys that we can do that way. So let's do it together now from the beginning, starting with this one, progressing all the way through like that. So we'll start on that D half diminished. I 1, 2, ready, and we got the D half diminished, G7 alt, C minor major 7, C half diminished to that F7 alt, B flat minor major 7, B flat half diminished, E flat 7 alt to the A flat minor major 7. We get the A flat half diminished to the D flat 7 alt to the G flat minor major 7. And we're going to switch up higher to that G flat half diminished, B7 alt, E minor major 7. Then E half diminished, A7 alt to D minor major 7. Then we're going to have the D half diminished, G7 alt, C minor major 7. And we finished off there. Now we can do the other 6 keys if we come up and start on D flat, which is at that 9th fret on the 6th string. And we go 1, 2, ready, and D flat half diminished, G flat 7 alt, B minor major 7. Then B half diminished, E7 alt, A minor major 7. Then we got the A half diminished to the D7 alt to the G minor major 7. And we're going to go up higher. We got the G half diminished, C7 alt, F minor major 7. And we got the F half diminished to the B flat 7 alt to the E flat minor major 7. And we got that E flat half diminished to the A flat 7 alt, D flat minor major 7. And then we got the D flat half diminished, G flat 7 alt, and the B minor major 7. Now, kind of like we did when we did the major 2-5-1s, we can actually work through this another way. So if we start 2-5-1, then what we're going to do is back cycle, meaning we're going to come back to the 5 chord and make that our new 2. So then G half diminished, C7 alt, F minor major 7. We come back to C7, it becomes our new 2. We do it again, back cycle, come back, and we go through. So if I start on D half diminished, then I go to G7 alt, then I got C minor major 7. Then I'm going to come back and make the G become my half diminished to C7 alt to F minor major 7. Then I'm going to come back and make that C become half diminished to the F7 alt to B flat minor major 7. Then I'm going to come back, make that 5 chord from the previous one become the new 2, so F half diminished diminished, B flat 7, Alt, E flat minor major 7. This forces us to go back and forth between the two sets, really great, and this happens sometimes in the songs that we play. So let's go ahead and do this one together. So we got 1, I 2, I 1, 2, ready, and we got that D half diminished to the G7 Alt to the C minor major 7. And we go back, we got G half diminished, C7 Alt, F minor major 7. We come back to C half diminished, F7 Alt, B flat minor major 7, F half diminished, B flat 7 Alt, E flat minor major 7, B flat minor 7 flat 5, E flat Alt, A flat minor major 7. We come back to E flat, to the E flat half diminished, A flat 7 Alt to the D flat minor major 7. We come back to A flat half diminished, D flat 7 Alt to G flat minor major 7. We're going to switch sets here in a second. We got the D flat half diminished, G flat 7 Alt, and then D minor major 7. Then we're going to come up to the G flat half diminished, B7 Alt, E minor major 7. We jump back, grab that B half diminished, E7 Alt, A minor major 7. We go grab the E half diminished, A7 Alt, D minor major 7. We're going to have the A half diminished to that D7 Alt, G minor major 7. Then we grab that D half diminished to the G7 Alt, and then the C minor major 7. And just like that, we have some really great voicings we can use anytime we have the half diminished chord, the altered dominant, and a minor major 7th. So this is awesome. In the next lesson, we're going to look at the fully diminished 7th chord. So we need to add that one because we end up playing that a lot. Once we've got that, we really have quite a few voicings that we can use when we're playing jazz, and we can always go back to lesson 33 and you can explore playing other types that we haven't worked on specifically in these few lessons where we've looked at specific voicings, and you can create some other options, especially when you start adding color tones. Though these ones are pretty much great the way they are. Of course, we can add things on with that minor chord. We could have a color instead of that 5th, for example, or something like that. So in the next lesson, that fully diminished 7th chord, it's going to be great. These lessons are coming out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We got Technique Tuesdays, Theory Thursdays, and on Saturdays we got those lessons where we're working on improvising in blues, rock, and pop styles. So lots of great things coming out fresh each week right now. Of course, there's hundreds of lessons already on the channel that can help you out with all sorts of things pertaining to playing the guitar. So keep having fun, keep at it, take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.